Namaste, Didi.
Namaste.
Namaste, Didi. Namaste.
Where is Dimple? She's on leave today? Not well? Maybe. Okay. So, this whole paper of Nritya choreography, we also have the privilege of Srimati Pratibha Prahlad, who has done the majority of teaching classes, and she has brought beautiful input on the traditional padams, kshatriya padams. It's beautifully, she will be bringing to you all these things, and how do you choreograph, I think Varnam, Ashtapadi, these are all elements. And then I think she's also going to talk about her creative experiments, because in Nritya choreography, other than the set margam, we are also looking at items or pieces which are beyond margam, and which is like on some music, genres of music like we have done, then different languages. So she will be doing something in Kannada and Hindi and things like that. So this is an expounded area for you to learn, and a privileged thing that so many teachers are teaching you in this thing. So today what we will discuss is we've so far gone into solo.
Yes.
Now solo to group. So how do you make? One area is like, say, Alaripu in group.
That's one idea.
Jatishwaram in group, Varnam in group. So what do? You have different places, formations, create geometrical patterns, things like that. So there is no story. Alaripu is Alaripu. Varnam is same. But Jatis 3 people will do, then other one 4 people will do, then maybe you can enact a story with 3 characters, but then it becomes drama. So, but like that people have done a lot of work.
I remember I have done that Kirtanam, Ananda Natamaduvan, and I just thought of doing something different with 3 girls, and each one will do the line meaning, and at the back the other 2 will enact that particular story which was coming in that particular line. So it was like, I tried and focused that way.
The similar thing,
the other 2 were at the back.
The similar thing that you also had done earlier for this Jaja Madhav,
yes.
that when she is explaining or dancing what she is doing, they become Radha and Krishna, and or Gopi and Krishna, and how they are doing what they are doing, and here is this jealous things going together. So in the group, so that is one group area where you have the traditional items and you go into group to those items, and then you have totally different area of what we call dance dramas. Where take a story, take a theme, take whatever you like and create the whole scene.
Characters at that particular
dance drama means characters. And I think
the best example that we have is Kuruvanji that we did. It was one of the best that I can
dance dramas. But then Kuruvanji is considered the dance drama form of Bharatanatyam. And this is what the Devadasis were dancing in the temple. So we have kept the same structure, the format, the story, everything. But we change the language.
Yes,
we have Gujarati, Kuruvanji. We have Carnatic and North Indian Raga and Tala, both North Indian Tala also. and we had the costumes
Yes.
of bandhani
Bandhani.
and the embroidery chaniyas for the kurati. So, and it is addressed to the Somla Chandra Mauleshwar. Anjali Ben's one of the best creations, and we were lucky to perform for the 50th anniversary, 100 years of celebration of Pran Pratishtha. So that was Chandra Mauleshwar Kurvanji. And then in recent years, we've done one of the good ones is like Buddha Tattva.
Buddha Tattva, yes.
When the Dalai Lama came to our university, we did this, and in that without bringing Buddha on stage. Because I felt that no one, perhaps as an individual, can do what is the image of Buddha. Now, like say, we are all doing Krishna and Radha on the stage and Shiva on the stage, but somehow to me, bringing Buddha on the stage was not. So we had a narration going, and then from the principles of Buddha, from the first his life, so his whole life was shown in a tarana. And the tarana, which was the happy phase of his life, when he born and he was brought up and then got married and luxuries and all that. And then, so as the tarana goes on, he starts his journey to the life, and he walks through, goes through everything. And then he sees this death passing, and he realizes that this is the ultimate reality, and he renounces. So in one tarana of I think 9 minutes, we showed this whole, and it came out very clearly to everyone. And
even
then
that episode of Cortesa,
yeah,
it is being like keeping everything in that traditional form. Also, we are able to show it.
But after tarana, we went into his search.
Yes.
That different stages of his search, from where he, and at the end when he attained the Buddha status of the enlightenment. And after that, we took his 5 profound messages. And that's where the Kotesa comes in, Amrapali. And like you did it very beautifully.
Yeah, it's like, keeping those things like she's a courtesan, she wants to, just attract him to her, and what all she will do.
Yeah.
So the basic things that we do in our traditional things, that to give pan,
betel nut
leaves, and then singing, playing instruments,
dancing,
and, singing for him, and then dancing for him, and then one point even washing his feet, touching,
all those, and first decorating yourself.
Decorating, so because
you have to attract him.
Lord Buddha, and that is how it.
So, how, if you take one theme, how you can mold it to your choice? The interpretation of the theme becomes very important. So, in this Buddha Tattva, Kotesa, then there was this Angulimal story, remember?
Very
beautiful. Yeah. So, Angulimal was one of the very important characters because how to destroy your anger. This is what, and Angulimal himself was one of the biggest bandits, and he used to kill everyone. And then he collected, the fingers. And he was now looking for one final 999 he had, and one. So Buddha said, I will go. And he says, don't come here, I'll kill you. And he says, I will come, do what you want. And he went. He went and he went and he went. And he couldn't do anything. He changed and he came. So we showed the Angulimal as in the dance dramas to bring more special interest to people. We used and we have limited number of dancers. We didn't want to have 100 people, a big troupe. So the same person had to do 3, 4, 5 roles. So we used those small props which would change one character immediately. And so we had the masks, Angulimal, and then there was this fight between the two. And we used some of the Kalari and Kerala music to show the mass, Chenda and Mandalam. And then, so this is the way, and then you have the story of Mahasuk. You remember the story?
Yes.
You remember the story? What happens? The parrot. Parrot. And the king. Yes. And the king was, they were living in the forest. And this one was very happy in living in the forest, the parrot and the group of parrot. We showed the whole group of parrots dancing and moving around. And then the king, felt that these people are happy and they are part of my kingdom. So they can't be happy. I only can be happy. So let's destroy them. And he cursed, and all of them sort of died. Then he realized that this is not the way. So again they came up. So, but we had the king in the front.
And the back is
Tree. So the front thing was with the mask and jacket. And was three, and then the tree, the old tree under which they all stayed. So, and their movements, can you show the beak? Can you show the movement of tiring tam tan tiring tam tiring tam tan tiring tam tam tiring tam tiring tam tiring tam.
See, here you can see the clear steps and everything, the posture, gesture, everything in Bharatanatyam
ways. And I think in the end,
We use Tai Chi.
yes. I mean, we had, because Buddha went all around the world, and then his preachings are today a living entity in China, in Japan, in Middle East. So we showed. It's only just a glimpse. But we learned Tai Chi movements properly, because when you want to use different forms,
then it is important to
you can't have it only outer. You must you have to feel the form correctly. To feel that form correctly, you have to learn that. Without learning, you can't get into. Otherwise, it's like slapstick. It's very upar ka. So these are the areas when you are doing creativity. So when Chandra's dancers, they learn Kalari Pipe for the whole year, 2 years. Then only she will use it. So you were saying something.
No, I was talking about this one episode of. One episode was left, I think, where he tells that lady
Isa Gautam,
which was very important again.
I did Isa. And
very touchy. Everyone knows the story. But still, when it was being enacted, it was like.
And I think there I went beyond maybe the Bharatanatyam, and I was more in my. Though I am a Bharatanatyam dancer, so my gestures will come all Bharatanatyam, but I was more into feeling of it.
Yes. And I think that is how it was very, it touched.
In a sense, one could say I used a lot of Lokadharmi instead of Natyadharmi. But in dance dramas, you can use different vocabularies, different thoughts, different ways, because you want to convey. The first and foremost reason is everywhere you want to convey, but then there is the traditions are you're doing in it. But here you are allowed, you can. There is your own choice of doing things. So it's
That is definitely a masterpiece that can give it for the topic that we are discussing about, like creativity, choreography and all. So I think
and group choreography, groups like this, and then the dance drama, and something which is very important in group choreography, that we are trained as solo dancers. So each one of us thinks differently. I mean, if it is tai, you do it, you will do it differently. Tai, and you do it. So the angle of this and this and this will all three differ. Now you have to put all that in one. The three of us are doing tai, 1, 2, 3 years, but the level, tai, this level, all have to be same. And that's why a lot of times the Indian groups get sort of little, because if you want to do, because each one, we are all taught, look at that, like that, but you end here, someone ends here, someone ends on this side, someone ends here. It's that freedom in tradition. Our traditions are not that, we don't have those kind of, they said, okay, so you do pataka to Kalapadma from beyond, but how much beyond this or that, you don't know. And each school will differ in that. So, in that sense, how do you handle that when you go in the groups? So
and even when you're talking about the hands and all, even the eyes. Also.
I mean, this is, we are talking of Nritya. Look at Nritya. And if you say in group, you have to say, Kya gayo Krishna Murari. How will you do that? 5 people doing the same thing. I did it in Kurvanji. 4 Sakhis had to do exactly the same.
And for that, I think too much of rehearsals, strong rehearsals, practice
necessary. I mean, commitment to time is very essential.
Because when you're dancing solo, it is anytime you practice on your own, and so it is fine. But when you're dancing in a group, everyone has to be at one time.
And the reason is that the group makes one picture. It becomes one solo. So you can't have 10 ways of doing 10 things, and to make people understand that is this is where I feel that university education comes in very importantly, because when you're teaching them angles, and junior means diploma classes, it's easier. But when a child gets into after 12th, that means he or she is committing himself or herself to dance. And once you commit to dance, that means you are into it, and morning to night, you have 3 hours of practice class, you have 3 hours of theory class, then you have library work, evening you learn vocal music or tabla or something, morning to evening, and then afternoons you may have production practices as you get into senior classes. So, and at what cost? Almost nothing. You're paying maybe 5,000 rupees per semester, which is hardly anything for the kind, and then you learn from 4 or 5 teachers. So you have a broader perspective of the whole style, and you have, so many facilities in the university.
Talking about the production, when you say Paruvan, when we are talking about the solo items, we know how we have to remain in the structure and all. But when we are going for the production, selecting of the music or maybe the process and all, would again remain the same in the sense of selecting of the music, because you are dancing in a group, there are many characters, many people dancing together.
See, I'll give you an example. Now, in the Buddha Tattva, we had Amrapali, right? Now, how do I select music for Amrapali? How? Based on what? So, my background knowledge, my listening to music helps me. Okay. Now, who was Amrapali? She was a courtesan. What she wanted to do? She wanted to entice Buddha. She wanted to have him. And so now what kind of music I should have? I was not using throughout the dance drama almost no lyrics, like this Tillana. It was Tillana, and the whole process went on of the life cycle of Buddha, but there were no words pertaining to that cycle. Okay, so in this Amrapali, to me it felt that Amrapali, being a courtesan, was a very sensuous person. And what she wanted also was very sensuous, very lively. So I had heard a lot of people, but I had heard this Thumari of Girija Devi, long, extensive. But Madake Bhare Tore Nai. So her eyes
were speaking
of mother. The sensuality, full of eyes, full of sensuousness.
It is connecting to her character.
So that's how I selected.
It doesn't have to be that word to word as you say. Doesn't have to go that way.
Not in this.
It's like again relevant to what that particular character you were trying to.
There was this another scene, if you remember, where Buddha goes to yoga and all the rituals and yoga. So we had yogasans, and there was music at the back, which was like very profound, strong, which will support this thing. And in between, when he is going through all these things, Yashodhara comes, and she says that if you had told me, मुझे कहा तो होता, मैं आपको जाने दूँ. So I use that Agyaya's poem, very famous poem.
Looking at this, I think it is again very important, and I would want to stress again here that listening of music, because otherwise, see, it is not possible to give that. What should I say? The production like Vidya-mitra, okay, the level that it has reached. So for that, I think your going on listening to a lot of music, reading, helped a lot.
I mean, your investment should be in good music.
Good music, absolutely.
Good books.
Of course, yes.
Students,
they should. I definitely want.
And then there is so much of classical music also, and also the Bharatanatyam music.
But
so many CDs and so many.
But then looking into, again coming back to Buddha Tattva, different type of music has been used. See, one is Girija Devi's, and then again you are coming back to
Chinese.
So like music.
And we ended up with the song, this Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Ghabraye Kyun Man. So I did.
I think the best example for different type of music, and again connecting different type of music, language, formation,
movements
also, of course, movements. When you do Tai Chi, definitely.
And costumes.
Yes, costumes.
So that is a great
in proper Tilana.
Yeah.
Where
Kathak Tarana costume.
Yes.
You did Bharatanatyam wearing Kathak costume.
Kathak costume.
So I think it's really, I should.
Means any creativity, it's very simple to work within this genre of traditional items because you have pakka music,
Yeah.
music is ready, meanings are comfortably known, and you know what costume you're going to wear.
Yes.
No
So that
issues.
idea, I think
And you
it's
have
very-
open lights,
And then it is
over.
Here even lighting also
Lighting.
it's very important. Yes.
Everything.
When you say lights, it's very important.
Props,
best things are
lighting.
Props.
Yes.
props,
Because if
lighting.
the light person or your vision for that lighting is not good, then again the whole thing gets spoiled up.
The choreographer has to know all.
All.
They may not need to do all, but has to
They-
know
they
all
have to.
and instruct. Or you have to create a team.
Team.
Nowadays it's difficult to work alone. So you create
have
a
to have a
team.
team, yes. But again, that in that team also, I think the choreographer is the main person who will make that person understand.
Yeah.
So, like what you want.
No. And that is one of the reasons that as you are graduating, you need to work with 2, 3, 4, and that's where again the university with 5, 6 teachers in the department gets
They get
different flavors and
Flavors.
understanding. The student has to be smart
Yes,
to
yes.
grasp
Grasp the best.
the best of
you
all
have to take the
teachers,
best of that.
all teachers. And after that, a lot of youngsters do work with their teachers, but most of the time they have to go out of the city, and so they must make an habit of whichever place they are, they need to work with some senior people there, or if there is none, then find out a way that at least once in a year, 1 month or 2 months, that they go and work with somebody. Under somebody, not
Yes.
with somebody.
Under somebody.
Under somebody. For a couple of years, you need to take part in varieties of things. That is what we call bhathu.
Yes.
How do you translate that? That's your kind of your base, your material. Your material. And from that material, your creativity comes. Because I worked with Anjali Ben in all her productions, and then when Chandrasekhar sir came to Baroda from 1980 till 92, I worked in all his productions. If I was not able to take part, then did costumes, did that, this, that. So all it helped.
It helps. Definitely it helps.
It is. And I think you have any more questions in this whole slot?
Anything to do with the choreography or creativity and that we were talking about.
No. So, namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Enjoy.